You had your finger right on the button. Okay, it's 4:01 and I'll call the meeting to order. And let's see. I'm here, Mary.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Mary Ann.
Here.
Mickey.
Here.
Reagan has already emailed to say she won't be here. Allison. No, and Marcia, no.
You want me to go ahead with a quick script, Henry?
Yes, please.
So this open meeting of the Town Area Plan Work Group of Subcommittee of the Nantucket Planning and Economic Development Commission is convening via video conference pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021 as extended on July 16th, 2022. This meeting is being recorded and all attendees are participating remotely via Zoom as posted on the town's website identifying how the public may join. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment if any members of the public are in attendance. And you've established the quorum, Henry, so I think we're all set.
Okay. Any additions to the agenda? Any comments? Okay, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Good, we have an agenda. Approval of the draft minutes from March 7th, 2023. Any discussion?
I had sent Lee an edit, which I think he incorporated.
Yes.
Okay. It was to change, I think change the word reported to the word speculated, because I was guessing at something rather than telling the truth.
Okay. Motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So move.
Mary? Is there a second?
Mary Ann.
Mary Ann. Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Good. All right, on to the discussion. Mary, do you want to give us an update on the survey?
Yeah, so last time we had talked about expanding the reach of the survey through the town's newsletter and social media, and also through traditional media, I&M, Current, Daybreak, and so on. And I talked to Andrew Vorse and he okayed that. I created a second survey link so that we would be able to distinguish who responded from the broader outreach as opposed to who responded to the postcard. And we also talked about potentially trying to reach out through the school. Andrew said that he would contact the school and find out if that was doable. So I thought that was a better connection than any of us had. Only a couple more responses have trickled in from the postcards. Henry, did we get any more postcards bounced back since the last batch you gave me?
I've got 4 sitting on the kitchen table.
Yeah,
I was
so-
going to go down tomorrow.
So we're approaching 10% return rate on the postcards, which is really head scratching. And I mentioned that to Andrew and he couldn't figure out why that would be either. So I have a text that I sent out by email, and Henry also did. And what I did there was I took the postcard text and just tweaked it for the different audience and changed the link. And I wanted to ask the committee members, since this is an electronic communication, we have a lot more capability and flexibility in what we're trying to do. We're not limited to the size of a postcard or what's in print. Do we want to try and add any additional material? And I will share my screen so you can see a couple of suggestions that I have. Let's see. Okay, so is everybody seeing that document?
Yes.
Yes.
So the 2 things that I've highlighted, the first sentence, I added links to the NPNEDC's town website and to the Nantucket Town Association website. Again, because it's electronic, those links would work where they would not work in a print format very easily. My hesitation is not to have so many links that people can't find the survey or get distracted and don't go ahead to the survey. So that's optional. I didn't know how people felt about adding that. And then at the bottom, I added our, announcement of when we meet and a link to the agenda page for the town area plan work group. Again, same concern, do we want to have so many links in this that people are, distracted from what we really want them to do?
I think it's very
I think
clear
that-
where the survey link is. It's right in the middle. It's, so I'm not concerned about it being distracting.
Great.
I am. I have the opposite opinion. I always think there are too many words in everything. So the fewer things that take away from the actual go to the survey, I'm for that.
And this is Lee. Mary Longacre, I think the additions are fine. And the links are, what are they called? They're hot links rather than having the URL printed. So they are distinctive. And maybe you could just take survey link and put that in caps and bold to make sure that it was visible.
Yeah. Mary Ann, do you think those points help, or you still?
No,
Less-
I always think there are too many words on everything.
So I'm guessing you don't want to add any additional content about the plan process or anything like that.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mary Ann has a point about keeping things simple, the old KISS phrase. However, Mary Longacre, that's all on one page. I think that's the critical part, is never make somebody turn the page, because they never will.
Well, it's electronically, there is no paging.
Well, it's still, how does it show up on a normal monitor screen? Do they have to scroll?
There is now no such thing. It depends on you're viewing on a phone, on a tablet, on a computer,
I
on a
understand.
laptop. Yeah.
I understand.
So I can make it show up any way I want on my computer. But I should, well, this is not the format. This is just the content. So
Yeah.
it depends on how it's formatted by Florencia when she sends it out as to how it will show up. So I really can't answer that question. I think to Marianne's point, we could remove this last piece about the work group meetings. That's additional content. It wasn't on the postcard. So I'm happy to do that. I know, Lee, you had a question about how to find the work group on the town's website. So that was part of what I was thinking, was people might have the same question.
Mary, I can't remember if there's a headline. And
There is not, it's only what's on this page. So if we could add a headline, that's a good suggestion.
well, I think it starts off with this long
Mhm.
title. And if there could be something like, we need your opinion,
Okay.
something that really grabs somebody before they launch into this long name of some commission.
Just a simple, we need your
Yeah,
input.
something really simple.
Okay. And should I go ahead and take this part off? Or does anybody want to keep the part about the meeting times?
I think it's an interesting thing to invite them to attend our meetings. I mean, nobody's done that yet.
Well, it's very hard to find out about these meetings. The listing on the town's calendar says NPNEDC work group. It doesn't specify town area plan. There's no page for the town area plan on the town's website. And even if you find the announcement, you then have to email the Plus department to get the link. The link's not included on the agenda. So it's not really a spur of the moment kind of thing.
So for a public meeting, it's not very public accessible.
Right. On the not pun not intended, on the plus side, there hasn't been a lot of meaningful opportunity for the public to weigh in. We're still very much in the exploratory phase. But yes, in the future, I would like to have more visibility, and I'll talk to Andrew about that.
Have you had any comments on the survey of people saying, I'd like to attend or I'd like to participate?
I haven't looked, so I can't answer, unfortunately.
I've been listening, and I think removal would be a good idea at this point. And at such time as we have working drafts and intend to have open public hearings, we should feature that as a separate broadcast, where it would be prominently displayed about how to get to our meetings.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was trying to do here, is take advantage of the broadcast opportunity. But yeah, again, inviting the public to the meetings at this stage is not particularly useful. Because we don't have, much to do to ask them for input other than the survey itself.
Well, there you have it.
So take this off is what I'm hearing.
Right.
Yes.
And go for it.
Okay, let me take the yellow off because that's not. And Lee, I will send you this revised copy for the minutes as well.
Thank you. I've got the original one already in file, but the new one, we don't have to have them both. It was
Right.
discussed, and this is yes. So please do send.
Yep. Any other comments on this communication?
I thought it was excellent.
Mary and Henry, I said go for it, but I think let's be formal. That's a motion to approve distribution as amended.
Okay,
Henry, you should probably do a roll call vote on that.
all right. We need a second first.
Oh, I'll second.
Okay, Lee and Mary. I'm
Aye.
voting aye. Lee,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Mary Ann,
And I just want to add that this was excellent. Very clear.
and excellent aye. Okay, and Mickey.
Who seconded?
I did, Lee.
I'm an aye.
Okay, I'll make a Mary Longacre.
And it was unanimous.
I got that.
Okay. Thank you, Mary.
It looks like we have Marcia coming in.
All right. Marcia, are you there?
I am, thank you.
Okay. Mary, could you put that back up so Marcia can see it?
Yeah. So Marcia, this is the slightly revised text of the press release announcement that the town will be sending out, and the Plus department will be advertising for us for the survey. And we just voted to adopt this.
Great.
Where are they sending it to?
It's going out through the town's news blast, and then will be shared on social media by the town as well. And then I believe that Plus will send it to Current and Daybreak and the INM.
Thank you, it looks good.
Thank you.
Okay. What else is next? Me? All right. Open space and recreation. Did everybody get a chance to look at what I sent out?
I did not, Henry.
Okay.
I did not notice that you sent something out. My apologies.
That's okay.
Was that sent out today?
Yes, this afternoon.
Okay. I assumed that you were sending what I sent, so I didn't look at it.
Okay. This was from a meeting last year. I brought it up and through shorthand scribbled everybody's suggestions down. And this is what we came up with. Any discussion, any additions?
Henry, I have an addition. This is Mary
Okay.
Ann. I should have had this before, but you know that little tiny pocket park called Garden by the Sea? That's at Candle House Lane, kind of diagonal from the pony field. That was just added like a year ago, maybe, year and a half ago.
I haven't noticed it.
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't it where they put the stone for, was it? I
For
forgot.
Arthur Cooper.
Yes, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
owned by the land bank. I think
Okay.
that should be added. It's called Garden by the Sea.
Marianne, what street is it on?
It's at 16 Candle House Lane.
Thank you.
Could you tell me where Goose Pond is?
Yeah, it's between Union Street and the railway grade. That's the formal name of the pond next door to the house Mark Kansu.
Oh,
Where the ducks are.
Yeah, they got more ducks in it than geese, but it is the goose pond.
so, so the one that I'm wondering about, and I don't have a name for it, and I probably will space out on the street names, but maybe it's on there and I just don't recognize it, but it's one that the land bank owns, and it often had, and many years ago, had a skating pond.
Oh,
oh, yeah, on New Lane or New Street.
Elaine.
Yes,
is
thank
that
you.
actually a public park?
It's land bank
Yeah.
property.
Oh, it is land bank. Okay. Is that in our territory?
Yes, that side of the street is in our territory.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So
And what is the name of this?
Well, let me see if I can find it on the website for the land bank. I can raise my hand and say I skated there when I was a kid.
Yes, good. Yeah, usually it has a wonderful tree at the top of a hill with
That's
one
gone.
bench.
It's gone, Marcia. They
The
took
tree
it
is
down.
gone.
Yes.
Is the bench gone? It's like.
No, the bench is there, but good luck if it's a sunny day.
Yeah, yeah, good luck getting to it. Yeah, it's just a really underutilized, really good sized piece of property.
It is a nice large lot. Well, I'm on the interactive map.
it's
But
number 25 New Lane
okay, thanks, Lee.
and
you on
number 10 Grove Lane.
Yeah, are you on the town's GIS?
I am.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't see a name on the land bank site. So
No,
just-
it's open land.
It's not very inviting because sometimes they don't even mow the grass in the middle. They
Right.
do the edges only.
There's a bit of wetland in there. And for what it's worth, I think it's close to the site of the mill that was there. And the
Oh,
water that ran down from the mill was known as the Mill Brook,
hmm.
which is celebrated by Millbrook Street or
Hmm.
Millbrook Road.
Well, I think it's a great resource that ought to be resuscitated.
We just need a name for it.
Oh, we
Okay,
need a name for it.
The challenge, everybody, is it is not municipality.
Well, a lot of these are land bank owned or NHA owned.
Okay,
Like the Lily Pond is land bank.
yep,
Yeah.
okay. Henry, do I have your permission to do a little homework and annotate each of these in terms of ownership?
Sure.
I wonder if we, it's a list, but I'm wondering whether we want to describe what it really represents in terms of a recreational resource and make recommendations for areas like this one or like Coffin Park that could use some attention.
Well, in my description, I said the town area plan supports the continued maintenance and upkeep of these areas. And then I list them.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think that,
Well, do we want to put a map of the area and note them on that?
absolutely. And I think kind of note like, well, what exists there? Is there a bench? Is there a tree? What, you know, and is it a favorite spot? I mean, like Lily Pond is amazing, right? I mean, it gets a lot of use. It's got a parking area. That's to note a resource and describe how it functions for us and others that don't.
I agree with Marcia, you know, noting the use and the amenities is something we should do. And we may discover in that process that we want to recommend the addition of certain amenities like a parking lot for Coffin Park, or, you know, I know that's been discussed at the select board before.
Yeah.
You know, this may be too fine a point, but some of these pocket parks downtown aren't necessarily in our area.
Yeah, that came up a year ago.
Okay,
Beg forgiveness.
yeah.
Henry, this is Lee. A question on the land purchased by the residents along North Mill Street. About a year ago, and Ann Dewis led the charge. I thought they got some money together and then the land bank matched it. And I'm not sure whether that's any of the ones that you have listed.
Oh, is that adjacent to the pony field?
I think so, yes.
Kind
It's
of,
up behind it, yeah.
yeah.
Side note, Henry, the open space plan is released today in the NPNEDC packet. It has been much revised by the consultants and will go before the NPNEDC to be moved on to the select board and the public. So, but that document is available if you, is it Marianne that's on the open space subcommittee with you? Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to take a look through that, that might be helpful.
Yeah, can you send me the link?
Yep.
Thank you.
Me too.
But it'll give you also an idea of how they presented the different kinds of open space and what kind of recommendations they have for actions. And hopefully they fix the typo that put Dionysus on the South Shore and Ladies Beach on the North Shore.
So just remember, Mary, that a consultant is somebody who owns a reference work and is from out of town.
Okay, any other discussion?
You know, this is just hitting me, but are there any bike paths in our area? Because that's recreation.
That's good.
The beginning of the Matticat bike path, you know, the first couple 100 feet, I think is in our map area. But other than that, let me pull up the map again.
And is a bike path part of transportation?
Yeah,
Where am I going?
I think of it more as recreation because, well, some people do it just for recreation.
it's both. It looks like we might have the bike lane on Orange Street in our area somewhat. No, so we include the railway part of the bike path going around Goose Pond Lane. That's the border for our area. So not the Orange Street section. But we do have that little section at Goose Pond.
Well,
and
this is
Washington
just an
Street.
unformed thought, but mentioning these things as part of our open space and recreation might be worth it.
Yes, I do agree, because we all know that there is incredible traffic from bicycles that does come through our area. And even to describe what that is and where the primary routes are, even if we don't have an actual bike path, really, I think helps to fill out a description of the area and how.
We include the sidewalks.
We
Yeah.
can include where there aren't sidewalks.
Yes.
Just on the bike path quickly, the beginning of the Hummock Pond Road bike path, that first section from Mount
yeah.
Vernon Street up the hill, that's also on the edge of our area.
Okay, this is Lee reporting from Roads and Right of Way. If you look at Prospect Street, there is a bike path along Prospect Street that terminates opposite approximately North Mill. There is a proposal to the town to develop a bike path all the way across to Old Farm Road, thence to Mount Vernon, and thence to actually Wynn Street, and to connect all of the beach bike paths.
Yeah, so I think the answer to Marianne's question is yes, or was it Marcia's question? Yes, we do have bike paths in our area.
Oh, okay, another thing that's hitting me is sledding, because Dead Horse Valley,
Mhm.
is that in our area?
Yes,
And also the cemetery, the
Quaker
that's on
Cemetery.
Vestal Street. The
Yeah.
little kids love
Quaker
that hill.
Cemetery is, but the Prospect Hill Cemetery is not in our area.
That's
I'm
correct.
not clear on exactly where Dead Horse Valley is. It looks like, you know, it's part of where our boundary is cutting across from the Red Mill Lane to Vesper Lane, and I can't tell from the map which side Dead Horse Valley is on.
I think it's in there.
Oh yeah, Dead Horse Valley is in Mill Hill Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how you're coming up with these recreational activities, Marianne.
They're hitting the side of
Especially-
my head. I don't know why. There's a
Yes.
strange dog going crazy in my yard. Maybe that's what did it.
Yeah, well, I
He
think
really
if,
woke me up. He's crazy out there.
well, sledding could be an activity for our unnamed park on Grove Lane and New Lane.
Mhm.
That's a good hill for it too.
Yeah.
Henry, can you help me remember what you're referring to when you say Pocket Park, Union Street and Orange Street? Because those two streets don't connect.
Oh,
Yeah, it's right near
Yeah.
Cumberland Farms.
Okay, so that's like the extra piece of the duck pond property.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, I thought you meant,
No,
the
it's
other
on the
one.
curve. It's that where they made the curve.
yeah,
Took that property. There's a house there, I think, and they removed it.
well,
And
next to the Lightship Basket Museum.
right near the Lightship Basket Museum.
Cross from it, yeah.
That has nothing to do with Orange Street, then that's just Union Street,
Probably.
Union and Francis.
I've got it. It's Union and Francis. Wow, guys.
Okay. Anything else?
Far be it for me to move to adjourn. Let's see if anybody has anything
No,
else.
we're not done, Lee. We've got the report to NP and EDC. We still have an agenda item.
Oh, okay.
such as it is. Basically, I'm gonna tell them that the work group divided into subgroups. Some preliminary work has been done by each group. And we're waiting for the survey data, and that will close on the 31st, and we hope to have an initial submission for summer.
Yep.
Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully we can hold to it.
Well, summer's a pretty broad target.
Yep, I would not try and nail it down.
Henry, let me ask that, at our last meeting, we talked about Memorial Day as some kind of a signpost.
I would just leave it as summer.
Yep.
I would say that the faster, and we've got to be thorough, but to get this done, the better.
Yeah, peak population is in July. So Memorial Day, there are many people who are not here yet, even seasonal residents. But I'd rather do the best job we can.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the population availability, the targeted date without knowing if we'll hit it.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Okay, so now it's time for Mr. Previous.
And happy St. Patrick's Day too, Lee.
A quick note on our next meeting, that would be Tuesday, the 4th of April, right, Henry?
I think, yes.
So we're going to proceed on the assumption that we'll be able to meet via Zoom, but that may not be the case depending on how quickly the legislature acts. So stay tuned, I guess, is all we can say.
And
All right.
you know that I won't be able to attend Tuesday meetings anymore
Oh, did
at
we
4.
want to discuss changing that, Henry, or?
No, I think we should stick with it, at least for now.
That's fine.
If we meet in person, it has to be in the ugliest trailer on the island, or?
Well, the ugliest building on the island. There aren't that many trailers.
Right.
Well, there's a lot more. Okay, we would meet there. We need a majority.
Well, I mean, I would ask the Plus department, would they want us to meet in their meeting room?
Okay.
There'll be more competition for the trailer from other meeting groups, but I think the Plus department meeting room, which is also equipped with a Zoom OWL device for that sort of panoramic remote meeting capability, is more likely where we would be.
Are they using the back room for that, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've been here long enough, it's the old training room.
Or the gas and electric.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. I have 4:35. Motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you,
Mary,
Marianne.
And LS, Lisa Epperstein, second.
Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Hi,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Mary.